All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I've been coming at you with a series of videos for the MIT Android Inventor 2 software package as part of the Rankin Technical College Summer Academic Adventure Series. I'm on the tail end of our 9th and final app here as we're building a very simple Pong game. And now we want to take a look at the collided with method. Which is here. Handler for the method when two sprites collide. The ball is a sprite and the paddle is a sprite. All right, so we have to put in code for that. So we come down to the ball and we want to find its collided with. There it is. All right. So what do we want to do if they collide? Well, notice there's an other in here. We want to set other to the paddle. So the other thing, that's when the ball is good. The other is going to be when the ball collides with, and that'll be the paddle. Notice if I go to paddle and I go down towards the bottom, there is just image paddle. All right, so that's the other. Now, if they hit, it was successful. So in other words, I want to add 1 to the score. So I want to set the global score equal to what? Well, I've got to do a math operation here, which says I want to get the current score, and I want to add 1 to it. All right, so I'm incrementing that by 1. I also want to make sure that I call my sound, because I just hit it. All right. And I can already tell I'm going to run out of room here, so let me collapse this block and move this up. All right. Did you notice that when I put my mouse over here, I also get a comment telling what this is about? All right. And you may or may not have noticed that when you went, oops, I don't want to do that. You may or may not have noticed also that when we are in the designer, all these things have question marks. So if I didn't know what a button was, I could take my mouse and click on there, and it shows me that. And I think if I go to the more information, it is even going to bring me back to that same reference page that we talked about before. The one that I've been alluding to. All right. So let's jump back to our blocks editor. All right, so we call that. Well, it's also time to update the score. So we want to be able to set that score equal to the current score, which is get global score. All right. We also want to make sure that once we collide, that it starts to go back up in the air again, for lack of better words. We want to send it back up to the top. All right, so we want to be able to work with the ball's heading. And we want to set the ball heading to, this is going to be another math operation. This one's going to be a subtract. And it's going to be, right here is going to be a number. I think I've shown you this, but if I take my mouse and click over here, I'm going to type in 360 and hit enter. And it makes that for me. I could have taken this and copied it and changed it. There's a lot of ways we can do it. And we want to put the ball1.heading right here, or the get ball1 heading right there. we are coming to the home stretch here. Let's see. Let's put a control statement in here, which is going to have an if, and also an else if. Okay, so if what? If, you know, we're going to add a level in here. Okay? So if they've already scored more than 10 points, we're going to increase the speed. How's that? So we're going to say if we're going to get the global score. So if that global score, I don't want to do that. I want to, but I've got to do a math check first. If the global score, let's say, is greater than, and we can make up any number we want, but I'm going to use in here 10. So if you've got more than 10, we're going to start making it harder. How are we going to make it harder? We're going to increase the ball speed. So we're going to set the ball speed, let's say, to 7. All right. Otherwise, if it's greater than or equal to or greater than 20, then we'll set the ball speed to 10. May be done. Let's check. Start. 2. Notice our score is going up. 3. 4. I want to get it over 10. 5. And I want to see if the speed increases. 6. 7. 8. 9, 10, and now it actually is coming faster. All right, I'd have to get it up more than that. Now, I do want to mention to you, the game plays better on a phone than it does in the emulator. All right, and I may or may not have shown you this. All right. But I know that someplace in here, and I don't know where it, unfortunately, right now. I can check. But someplace in here, let's see. And unfortunately, that's not it. It might be in here, but I've got a feeling it's not going to be. That's my screenshots and my presentation. Somewhere in here I have, well, I could probably grab it right from the App Inventor documentation itself. So let's see if I can find that. That's not what I wanted. Now I have 2 of these open, and I did not want that. All right, so let's go to, let's just go to Google. And I'm going to type in here App09. Again, that's not what you want, Jeff. this might be it, the getting started. Setup instructions. All right. In here, among other things, the author talks about how you can hook up your phone. Okay, this is what they recommend. Now, this only works if you have an Android phone. If you do, you go out to the Google Play Store and you download, what is it? I've got it on my phone. You under the Google Play Store, you go in and you download the MIT AI2 companion app. Then if you do that, what you're able to do then, they show you how you can install it. It's all in here. Okay. Then if you do that, what will happen is if you go to run this on your phone, then what we've always been doing, if you remember, from day one in here, is we have always been coming in and doing this. Connect to the emulator. But otherwise, you'd be connecting to the AI companion. If you do that, what ends up happening is it'll say, do you want to connect via a code, which it'll give you, which are like 6 letters, or do you want to do it via a QR code, which is a little picture. All right, that kind of looks like a UPC code. And if you take a picture of that with your phone, you can play the app on your phone. Now, I made that a lot harder than it actually was. All right, someplace in my mess, that was the one I just opened, so no, I don't want that one. I'll have to find, unfortunately, where I have that particular document. One more way I can try to find this. It's unfortunate that I have no idea where I put it. This in and view by details. Let's view by date. It's not doing it by date, even though I asked it to. So I don't know what the problem is. But somewhere I have a thing that I saved that has the basic instructions on how to do all this. And it's got a little bit more than what I just showed you. I'll make sure I put that out there also. So, what we've done. What have we done? All right, we have gone through the MIT Android App Inventor. I'm not going to go through all of these, or I'll just whip through a bunch of them. We created an All-American project, the Boy Who Cried Wolf project, the Hello Kitty Doggy project, the Rankin Plus project, 2 versions of a guessing game project, a xylophone project, a Magic 8-Ball project, and a Pong game project. App project that doesn't really matter. All right, all that information is on your flash drive. So what do you do next? Well, you can go out and take a look at any of these URLs that all start with appinventor.mit.edu. There's a getting started, there are more tutorials, there's a course in a box which you should be able to just blast through. You've already got this, but this again explains on how to put all this stuff on your machine. I guess that's probably what I was looking for before. You know how to get into App Inventor. Okay? If you don't know how to set up a Google or a Gmail account, all right, you can go over to here. We talked about the palette. We talked about the design area. Some books call it the component area. All right, we talked about the actual components themselves. We talked about the properties. All right, you now should be able to distinguish between using the designer window as opposed to the blocks window. All right, I gave you a couple of those URLs. We did look at, for the xylophone, the actual online book. I mentioned the course in a box. If you do go out there and take a look at it, that's literally what it is. There's a bunch of different courses that are, or apps that are out there. I decided not to do it that way. I learn better by, basically by doing, and not by just going over what other people have done. So we did projects 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Time was permitting. And again, on the flash drive, what I have done is I have saved all the files out there, and they're all saved onto that flash drive, and you can take them if you get into App Inventor, and you could upload those to your App Inventor account. All right, the PowerPoint slides are on there. Each of the projects are on there. That PDF file is on there. Notice the link, and I've mentioned this before, I'm going to say it again, that if you go out to youtube.com and you go in there into the search area and you search for Jeff Scott, Rankin Technical College, all right, and you go to my channel, it does that sometimes, and you go over to here, Android App Inventor. So where I've got here this link, YouTube, it's not really the YouTube channel, it's really the YouTube playlist, but should change that to playlist. So there that is. All right. From here, you should be able to extend any of the projects that we've done. As mentioned earlier, you really now have the expertise. It may take a little time. All right. You could turn this on its side, have two paddles, one that was over on the end here, one that was over on the end here. Have the one ball, just put a little dash in the middle. All right. And then you could have that other Pong game that I showed you earlier as an example. You can create your own apps. I should mention, and I am mentioning right at the end here, we're just about finished, that there are pre-made apps that are out there. No, that brought up mine. That isn't what at all what I wanted to show you. So I'll have to fix that. But there is a support forum that's out there. If you've got questions, Okay. Let's see. App Inventor to, we'll call it App Showcase, and we'll see if there's anything. Here's an App of the Month. Winners, we'll give you that. That's what I'm looking for, was a gallery. Good golly, Jeff. There we go. All right, that's pretty much everything. I hope you enjoyed this. I did. And I'm planning on doing it again next summer, either with App Inventor 2, or we might do Python. I might do machine learning. I don't know. I might do something that I've never even heard of yet, but we'll see. So once again, thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate it.